Kanikapu. That pilot game special right there. You hear that? Grandpa.
Aloha kako. Welcome to another episode of Darkside of Hawaiian Politics. Saturday, 26 December 2020. Haleo keave, maui nui a kama, mo ka ia hina, o ka kui hewa, ma no kalani po. Aloha ka kai a ka kova I pai aina. Today's weather, moko keave, your highs north 89, low 72, east side 86, highs low 67, south 89, low 70, west peaking out 90, top low 78. He'enalu, moko keave, addition, north peaks out the highest 4 to 7 with occasional bigger Be careful. Stay out if you are not a professional and you don't entertain these kind of weathers right now. Out at your east, 2 to 4, manageable, fun kind. Out in your south, 2 to 3 with occasional bigger. And your west, 3 to 4 with occasional bigger. Be careful out there, your north and west facing shores. If you're not a professional and if you don't know what you're doing, please stay clear. And for all you family lovers, be careful and have fun. Now for your law, occupation, homework, what's the count?
What day is it? Good morning, good morning. Happy holidays. Aloha, kakahiaka, e ko Hawaii pai aina. Here we are again, another beautiful day in occupied Hawaii. And yeah, let's take a look at the calendar today. Boom, the big black calendar. Going back to the inception of the crime and injustice here in the Hawaiian Islands over 127 years ago, when the illegal occupation and the usurpation of our constitutional monarchy happened. January 17, 1893, as we know, so la 46,730 since that day, that dreadful day, that fateful day, that fraudulent day, and we keep the clock ticking, right? We haven't forgotten about that injustice. We haven't allowed ourselves to be glazed over by corn syrup and high fructose and all these other artificial sweeteners of the fake state and the federal government. And we are keeping track of all the various injustices happening in Hawaii, right? That's why we started Na'au News Now. That's why we do the things that we do, is to keep track, to keep a record for our people. And so on this day, 46,730, you know, we acknowledge all of those injustices. Yeah, we shine a light on a dark place so that we can, boom, blast that fool into the next dimension and make our Ike relevant, make our culture and the words and the ways of our kupuna relevant again in this time. So, of course, we start that off with, you know, our puke olelo no el. Dude, you like this one today. We get a couple. And it's in the spirit, the theme of today, right? Episode 58, Pa'i a Pa'i, Like a Like. So today's Olelo no Eo of the day, number 2572.
2572.
Pa'i a Pa'i, Like a Like. A slap and a slap, equal to equal. This is also the term that we use for a tie. Yeah, when you're playing one game, you know, those silly imaginary things, or sometimes some very important decisions, wagering on the line. But a tie is when you pa'i a pa'i. So also when an agreement is reached as to the terms of a game, a contestant holds out his hand to be slapped, right? And it's like a handshake almost, right? Sometimes they can go a little further than that. Pa'i a pa'i, like a like. And so as we look into the other Olelo No'els of the day, in this same theme, cha-ching, cha-ching, casino, royale, the fake state, we go to 1742 and 1743, right? We look to our kupuna, who, yes, they were very much involved in things like wagering and gambling to a certain extent. There is a cultural component to it. So if we look at some of these clues, right, let's go to Kaumaea, right? A very famous place where the skill was shown down here in Kau. And there's a couple of Olelo No'els associated with it. Ke Kawa Lele Opu o Kaumaea, the diving place of Kaumaea where skill is shown. But also Ke Kawa Vai Ole o Kaumaea, the waterless leaping place of Kaumaea. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with this story, the Lele Kawa, right, as we know, that's something our kupuna were very much skilled at, leaping from great heights into the ocean, you know, with little to no splash, or maybe one big splash if that's what the occasion was, right? But in Kaumaea, you know, this is a place that there is no water to jump into. You actually jumping into dirt. my friends. And so, ke kawa wai ole, o Gomez, o kalamai, gaumaea, right? Where we jumping off the great heights, not into water, not into vai, not into the riches, but maybe into a bunch of floaties and Red Bull sponsorships and packages and pimps, right? Of the fake state of Hawaii. And we don't jump into the dirt, gang. We don't like to jump into the dirt. So, e akahele. Ike la mea e lele kawa. Yeah, where are we jumping from? Where are we jumping into? Are we jumping into dirt? Rolling around in the dirt? Or are we jumping into the vai, into the riches? And those are some of the guiding lights, perhaps, that we have this morning. Allah, 46,730. Don't jump into the dirt, guys.
Don't jump into the dirt. With that being said, homework.
Yeah.
Just like hale ma'u, let's go.
Let's bang.
Let's bang.
Okay, what we
First
got?
one up, moko keawe.
It's on the block today, baby.
Moko keawe today, right? If you guys wasn't aware, this past weekend, right, or I mean leading up to Christmas, right, there was quite a disturbance that took place, and it was between
Disturbance in the forest.
the Fisher 8 issue down in Puna.
Oh, yeah.
So the Fisher 8 issue basically was that is where the creation starts, right? So we had Fisher 8 and the creation that took place out in Leilani Estates, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? It should be in the Leilani Estates. And basically, these things should be held as a national treasure. Yeah? So with that being said, if we can get it up here.
Let's cue this baby out.
Clear this baby. So Fisher 8, if you guys see here, there were a few Kanaka, if not 10 or more or less
Residents,
Hawaiians, that laid down on the road that was being bulldozed. And so this bulldozer right here is a private citizen. And so if you guys go to Kaika Marzo's page, you will see that they directly show the fisher with a stake on top of the fisher. Kako.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you heard me correct. A stake for a marking
pin, yeah.
The marking pin for a TMK to be put on such a national treasure that is still not sleeping and is still actively going, as you guys can see.
Right.
So today, Fisher 8.
That's Fisher 8 right there in the picture, right? That's it.
That's Fisher 8. And if you guys need more information, which I know you guys do, we are here to point you out to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and check out Kaiko Marzo's page. Right. And there's a lot of friends in Puna that have posted it. And you guys will get a better understanding that there were Hawaiian families, there were residents, there were local people, community members that laid on the ground for the sanctity of the preservation of not a TMK, of a national treasure that is still developing. It's not even dead or even sleeping. It is still actively growing down in the Puna area, as we now see Hale Ma'u revisits again, as Tutu Pele revisits again. Right. You know that everything is still active, and we should take the highest caution, whether it's through stupidity of a TMK or residents laying their lives on the ground. Like, these things should not be happening, not in the time of these holidays and during the time of eruption taking place. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, Kapaole homework.
What you got for these guys?
We just have to say, Gilenar, Kamakau, you guys should take better pride and in safety first over our communities. Right. Just because somebody paid the land taxes, that doesn't mean they own that specific property. Mm-hmm. Homework, however you want to address this, Fisher 8 is definitely causing an issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chucks, right here, all we see, what we can see, we get a little closer look, is a big tractor, right? A bulldozer heading up to Fisher 8. And if you watch the video from Ikaika Marzo, it really shows kind of good perspective right there where
It's
the
a
road
real
ends,
perspective.
where these guys are making their own road, or this particular individual, this resident, because it is on his lot, supposedly, in the Leilani Estates. But that's also where we have to remind people of their entitlement.
Yeah.
They feel entitled because they own something, this piece of paper that some other crook made them pay for, that they can take a bulldozer to the top of, a brand new, how do you say, pu'u, a brand new pico, if you will, connection point to Mother Earth. And, maybe with good intentions to plant trees and whatnot. But
Safety first.
like this just shows that I think the error in the way that Kanaka work and humans, you take the bulldozer and you just ram them up, right? You're not waiting for nobody. People are laying in the road, but you don't care because you feel entitled to that space. But that's why I want to remind people who actually owns this land. Is it crowning government of the Hawaiian Kingdom that was pieced up and sold off by the fake state and its developers? So who is the original title holder here? Because then again, we all as Kanaka have interests, have kuleana. So when something like this happens, it's not going to be the last time that Tutupele pops out and a new feature is created in Puna and reclaimed in Puna. And these old stories are relived through the manifestations of our natural gods and goddesses. So we're going to see more of this happening. And are we going to treat it like the invasive species that are encroaching upon it? Or are we going to go with the flow, gang, and listen to the akuas and kupunas? So I got to throw a little red and yellow out there.
Definitely.
Like, if you think you're making one statement right now, I think you better take it easy a little bit, right?
Yeah. Statement, no statement. Wrong time to make that statement.
Maybe we got to learn more, but
So
from my
next up-
perspective, missing out some things.
Right.
What else
So
we got? What else we
next one we got Kako. Can't get any more better than this with the corruption at hand visible for the Lahui Tusi. We have here,
your favorite.
yes. So this covert mission, this is before the Kealoha, yeah? Before the Kealohas, we have a huge case. Suzanne Ballard, right, in 2019, targets a medical examiner, Christopher Happy, yeah? Behest of Mayor Crook Caldwell. So these things were just arrived through Civil Beat that showed that this doctor was targeted for actually, they say, for drugs. These guys said this doctor was a drug user, drug seller, and he was doing it correctional. He was doing this during a time of on his job, and lo and behold, they had to do a tail, and the tail finds that he only eats McDonald's, he smokes packs of cigarettes, and they checked out where he goes to eat, and they had to stop it in under a week. With that being said, Kealoha, I guess they knew what to do. I guess this is standard operations.
Right, there we
So
go.
standard operation
standard
comes way by
operating procedures.
if
right
you
there.
have someone that doesn't agree with your views in your administration or from another belief or a right wing or a left wing point that doesn't concur with the current situation, then now you have people like Amamiya guys who can just pick up the phone call and say, hey, this guy is soliciting and possibly using drugs.
Right.
And that's one story.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say is that
One story.
this is just one story. This is an example of organized crime.
Organized crime.
Right? This is an example of how the state of Hawaii manipulates its various arms and tentacles in order to squeeze out whatever threat to that power and to that status quo structure, that presents itself. Even if it's people who are working within the system, who are helping provide solutions for our communities, right?
Yep.
Medical examiners or whatever have you, right? it's a vicious cycle I see over here, with the fake state playing its games and not really busting the real criminals.
Well, Happy
right?
Happy basically he was maybe underworking his contract, right? Not the morgue was backing up. A lot of issues was arising, and so you have the
Right.
national
Right.
Japanese American who comes in, Amamiya, and says, "Hey, this guy could be possibly on drugs. He's back on the body count." And so there you
Sick
have
'em.
it.
Sick 'em.
Sickos, man.
Look at that Doberman. Sick 'em.
Gotta smash that, definitely. We're not letting that slide with no Gustavo, yeah?
Another headline from the HPD, right? Another.
So when you
big
say there's no
one.
corruption, last week's episode we discussed how the HPD has no mechanisms to even stop or prevent a next Kealoha. And yeah, they're right. Ballard was one of them.
They still dealing with decades ago issues of corruption, right? Oh
Right.
my God.
And so
Let's get the hammer out. for
next
these
one up,
punks.
we want to talk about
What else we got for whack?
so the Department of Justice,
DOJ.
right? DOJ,
Go DOJ.
former
That's
Hilo
not my
Correction
DOJ.
officers pleads guilty for assaulting an inmate and conspiring with other officers to cover it up. Thursday, December 3rd, 2020, officially released from the DOJ of the Office of Public Affairs. So if you guys need any information on clarity on the names that has been up here, we just send our love and our thoughts out to the family members who have been a victim, right, over this kind of issues. These are many things that happen, because if you guys are familiar, they had the first ever riot in Hilo around the similar time. Yeah. These are the things, right? Kenji Price, once again, Kenji Price
Yes,
comes
sir,
to the
Kenji.
aid and actually
Still here.
helps to do these things, which otherwise, naturally, nobody, they will conspire and lie. So just like how they were shooting gas balls at the Hilo correction facilities, right, while the building was burning down, is beyond humanistic traits that we should be seeing within our communities. Nobody can jump out. The doors are all lined up with officers with loaded guns. The roof is burning from above, and they shoot gas balls at the windows where the only air can come through. And now you have the Justice Department, mahalo, Kenji Price once again, right? As you see the police state that we live in and the conspiring with other officers, right? The conspiring to cover up such a heinous issue and a standard operation. That's what we're talking about, standard operations with the state of Hawaii and the colonizing tools that they use as they oppress and as they conspire. And they do these things successfully. This is just one of the times they get busted, yeah? So
Right. This is
that's-
just one
this is
case.
one of the cases.
Right, where they conspired with their peers, right, other officers, 3 other officers, I guess, correctional facility officers, to pin down, punch, knee, kick in the face, head, body, everything, right? But you know what? I think this is an example of what the state of Hawaii does to the people of Hawaii, the Kanaka Maoli, right? And we waiting for more of these cases to come to the surface. Kenji Price, this is small potatoes.
Small.
This is small potatoes,
But
gang.
but I think Kenji had to take the step here because
Right.
following or prior to,
Gotta
there was
give
the
him some
first ever
credit.
riot, right?
Right.
And then Espinda gets fired.
he had to do something. There's just too much action, right?
Espinda gets fired, right? After he gets rehired. So you see that they're out of control.
Out of control,
The
right.
state of Hawaii is out of control with the lack of respect for our Kanakas and other people within the prison facilities, for they will conspire to kill you if you don't give them what they want.
Yeah.
Next up, we got that break.
I gotta throw some la'i out there for our Kanaka still in there dealing with this, getting pinned down, getting abused, getting victimized by the fake state and the fake process. The power manipulation of these elites, of these corporate scam artists and pimps. So I gotta put some la'i out there for our Kanakas who have to actually deal with that shit.
Yeah.
I see
Well,
you guys.
Yes, for those who got to deal with it, you know, and the occupation is the only way we can get clarity to
Right.
where we need to be. If not, you guys are living in an illusion that is not going to be successful. And next up for the COVID-19 freakout, we got a break from the finale.
Freak out. Okay.
So the freak out
What we got
today,
this week?
as we always know, and now with the investigative
It's all about money
journalism,
now, right? It's about money.
of
What's going
Civil
on?
Beat, right? Civil Beat, mahalo once again. You guys seem to be the only one digging deeper than what you should be looking at
Right.
during this pandemic.
They got the
And
hottest
so
headlines.
they got the hottest headlines. And so some Honolulu police officers are doubling their salaries with COVID overtime, kako. So in just the first 9 months, 2020, Sergeant Robert Cavaco earned $71,000 on a regular pay, and his overtime was $119,000.
What?
That's a grand total of roll the dice. It's a grand total of $190,000
Oh, bam!
dollars,
I
more
get that
than
job.
Kirk Clown Caldwell.
What?
Another
Well, in his
capital,
one job,
right?
right? In his
Theon
one
Costa
job.
earned $71,000 in a regular pay period.
Uh-huh.
Plus, he's up $133,000 in overtime with a grand total. Roll the dice. Grand total of $204,000.
Oh, baby!
So the chief
Bruh.
makes $205 annually and doesn't earn overtime. So, Kako, if
Susan
you want a little
Daly.
bit more, check that out. Go check it out. Yeah, Civil Beat. Some officers are doubling their salaries, right? And this is what you will see. You will see new SUVs, new quads on the beach, right? You will see people strutting around making double their salary
You see a new
within months.
the
of a time.
2020 SUV right behind you.
2020
The
SUV.
2020 4Runner, the new 2020 4Runner behind you, right?
So you see how they give $1,200 out one-time stimulus for
Damn.
tacos, and then now they go straight to your natural being,
Talk about a scam, guys.
scamming them up.
60,000, right? Tickets that get thrown out. That's what they got. That's how they racked up all this overtime, guys. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars, right?
It
One
is.
scam to the next, and the never-ending story, right? It's the never-ending story.
Yep.
So gotta smash these
Smash those
cupcakes, guys.
fuckers.
Get out the red and yellow, boy.
Fucking black and yellow. So next up, you know,
Koila, right?
You got your
I'm using all
Koila?
my tools for this one.
so this is the bright spot that we can always kind of look at, right? So if you see
The
next
teachers'
up,
union?
our teachers
Okay,
union,
here we
right?
go.
We're coming right into our teachers union.
Always working. Talk about people
Well-
working overtime.
Well,
right
the teachers
there.
union, right? Mahalo once again. You know, this guy don't look like much, but he does much during this COVID. Yeah.
Who's this guy?
He's been active. This is your rep. Yeah. This is your rep.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Check him out. So they announced that there will be, right, in a memo to public school employees on Monday announcing the plan, Superintendent Kristen Kishimoto said the governor has the authority to impose furloughs based on his emergency powers during COVID-19 pandemic, as well as his rights as a public employer. So here you have the governor asserting his belief and his rights that he think he has during the COVID. And mahalo once again for the teachers union
Right.
for stepping up and challenging this dung beetle.
Right.
Because you know he's holding snake eyes when he rows. He's a snake eye. He does not row naturals. He does not have a royal flush. This character, dung beetle Ige, is continuing to bluff people out, but there's only a few people that is willing to call the bluff.
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers union,
Especially from within the state and this power structure. Yeah. So mahalo to the HSTA reps and to the HSTA leadership stepping up,
right?
checking their bosses, checking the cat in the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, wait a minute, gang. Wait a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Furloughs and all these different things. That's, we're compromising. We're furloughing our future for our kikis, Meanwhile, right, like we showed earlier, all these other state workers are collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in overtime fees for putting out pieces of paper that they didn't even follow up with in the court. So definitely gotta
Right.
smash on the state for this one. This is as sloppy as it gets. So mahalo to the Kumus stepping up,
Yep.
teaching these buggers, right?
Yep.
Because David Ige used to have some kind of appreciation for the teachers, right? But I don't know what happened ever since he's been rolling that big ball
Snake
of
eyes.
right.
Snake eyes.
Too
This
much.
guys, let's get it.
Okay.
So
Let's flip this.
we
Let's
coming
flip
out of
it,
the
baby.
COVID-free.
Let's flip out. Boom.
next up
To the next side
to
of
the last.
chopping block.
Usually,
baby.
usually we like to keep it we keep a positive
What
at
we
the
been
end.
waiting for.
But
Oh,
this part for this year to close
Show
up,
this out for now, right now.
to shut down the old year and
You guys are
welcome in the
gonna get it.
Makahiki.
You guys are gonna get it.
Mahalo to Anakala. You know who you are. We ran into the store and he brought everything into perspective.
Right.
How do you feel? So first up, we got what the buzz is all about. You know what the buzz and the birds and the bees do.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. What
Shake
we
'em
got?
up, shake 'em up,
What's
shake
the
'em up.
first picture we
Shake
got
'em
on
up.
this one?
You don't got it?
You got this?
Yep. So we have. There you go. We have the crap out.
Ah!
We have the crap out.
There
Kako.
it is.
Hawaiian Homes
Yes.
Commission passes with a unanimous, right? Not a unanimous. I like to say
Yeah,
unanimous.
that was a split decision.
It was a split decision.
5-4.
But everything comes with the win at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So we knew it was coming down the middle of the pipe.
Right.
And who do we have? Yokepa Games Gomes, right? Yokepa Games. Yeah, put on Yokepa Games.
Is this the
Leading
Is this a mastermind? Is
Yeah,
he an actual mastermind?
Yokepa Games was the first guy to bring this up. Yeah? And he was proud to present
Tyler Games.
Tyler Games. Here you guys have it. The young 30-year-old soul, right? That feels like he has the remedy for the illegal corruption and injustice that has plagued us. So if you look at
Gosh.
Mike Malahini Kalikini, right? Puna Geothermal, somebody needs to butt plug this clown. Because this guy is always running his mouth on thinking of great ideas just like PVG, right? He thinks that he has all the bright ideas to go ahead and get an arousal, get an erection off of this. So you see, we have Bulaya, wannabe pimp, gangster, automatic vote. We got Tyler, Slick Rick, bet all your money on the Snake Eyes first row. And then you got Mike Malahini Kalakini, like a butt plug out in PVG, telling to just blow his gaskets. He just wants to blow his gaskets on every row, all in.
They got
right?
their tokens ready for this slot, baby.
And this is what you see is this slop show.
Yeah.
Boom. And we're gonna get more to it next, man.
Yeah. So the headlines read, let me get a solo on this, right? 5-4 decision, a split decision.
Split decision. Is that the
Hawaiian
putty or
Homes
putty?
Commission supports, right?
This
Putty
is a
up,
putty.
putty. Here we go. Putty up, putty. So who
man.
wants a putty? Who wants a putty? Who wants a putty?
Yes.
All right, 5-4. And then when you watch that vote, when you watch that little shit show, like you said, right? Who is the deciding factor? It's none other than Mr. Isla himself, the chair, right?
No, it's Snake Eyes.
He
That's
makes
Snake Eyes.
the fifth and final vote, right? So he's actually the deciding vote in this. And before they made this decision, right, they went into executive session for over an hour and a half, right? So all of our people are trying to engage. They're trying to, get involved and tell the department, law, do not roll the dice on my freaking lands and my resources and my future and all the waitlisters, the 30,000 waiting for the opportunity to homestead. Do not roll the dice on that, right? You kept all of us waiting, watching the live stream for an hour and a half while you guys went into executive session and deliberated About what? Okay, who's gonna go yes, who's gonna go no? Because we already know we gotta go 5-4, split decision, in order to make this scam look like it was ready for the ladies to throw on top, right? So I see you guys in your slick styles that you guys stay busting out right here. It reminds me a lot of another slick, the 00 Snake Eyes right here, Casino Royale. And all I can say is mahalo, Mr. Iokepa Gomes, for some of the information that he shared during his presentation. It's what we've been talking about for years now.
So we're on to the next, right?
On the list.
The Tyler Games presentation.
Oh no! So this thing is getting wrapped up into one big burrito,
the Tyler Game presentation. This is what we're discussing, Kako.
Okay.
How these people, right?
Kick back.
Homework? No. You in homework. So after passing the astounding 5-4 sliver bite, right? Then we had the Tyler Games presentation. The Tyler Games presentation was quite a spectacle. Mm-hmm. I would like to shout out first my mahalo and my thanks to show the gang, show the click. Mm-hmm. So you see the front and center, guys?
Here we go.
Kapu, yeah.
Celebrity Squares.
This individual, yes, we don't see eye to eye on many issues.
Right.
But he spoken like somebody who knew a lawsuit was about to hit his ass.
Right.
So he did the best job ever seen.
A seasoned vet, right?
A seasoned vet.
Mahalo, David Ka'apu.
David
right?
Ka'apu.
Commissioner
right?
Ka'apu.
First answer to Tyler Games' presentation.
Yep.
Tyler Games made a presentation. I kind of cashed that out. Uh-huh. He showed only 2 doctors and cited 2 doctors, right? And he didn't stop there. He had the audacity to jump into David Malo and into our Prince Jonah Kuhil. Mm-hmm. The lottery, yes, is similar to Hawaiian Homes. It's a failure. And to think of any other gamble with it, Tyler Gomes and the presentation was sniffed out by our Moku, who questioned the integrity. I'm not talking about Mike Kalekini.
The integrity of the process, yep.
Integrity. He drops this documentation off a day before, and he says, we need to make a move before other people catch on. Yes, they're going to catch on to the scheme. Yes, the presentation has shown your flaws. You have no research, no documents, no experience. And yet, the word self-determination came out of his mouth almost like when Mele during Mary Monarch. So gracefully and smooth, Iokepa Games. That's what we're discussing today. How you would slide those 2 words into Aina Ho'opula, and then you say, but Governor Ige, my daddy, the dung beetle, needs to push the pile of shit to every community.
Gosh, that was too funny, right?
And that is what we're seeing right now is the conspiracy in the executive session where people like Tyler Games can come back out and say it with such confidence that these lotteries was kingdom. These things were ali'i like. But yet, none of you have ever followed the law, which was Aina Ho'opula. And for that being said, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, right? We found a new era of Hawaiian monkeys, right? These kekos know how to do it. They like to give the close games with the 5-4 shutout, right? Yep. To make like there was such a struggle. Right? But Awo and Anake, you guys did speak up.
Right. Mahalo
we do
to the
respect
commissioners
and honor.
Yes.
And so this is not to take away from awe.
Yeah.
This is to shine the light on the cockroaches. And that's what we're doing. Because for those who spoke up against, like Anake, 2 of them, right? And you have Kaapu, and you have those other smart, intelligent Hawaiians who said, I think it was Molokai, who said, we're going to create this task force. We're going to use self-determination. We're going to say independence, but we're going to ask Daddy Dung Beetle Ige to give you out cookies. And that is what took place during the Iokepa Games presentation. I advise you guys all to go and listen, Kako.
You know, it was a pretty slick presentation, I gotta say. He was on point. The boy had his Red Bull before he jumped in the ring. And like I said, there was some really good information in there. But the way that it was presented, like Commissioner Ka'apu mentioned, was how do I verify anything that you said? I'm supposed to take it in full faith. And really operating with the fake state of Hawaii in faith, in good faith, is not getting us anywhere. It's not getting 26,575 applicants statewide on their lands, right? There's 45,000 applications, gang. You know, the breakdown is here. The pie chart is here. You know, here's our lands here's the crumbs that they say that they owe us, right? But the department cannot get it together to distribute these lands because it spends millions and millions and millions of dollars coming up with 5-4 split decisions in their nice tower in Kapolei, right? While the rail is going on, they're like, damn, that's the scam we should have been on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the next one, Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Right? So really, I gotta give a pa'i to these buggers for all this games that they're playing with the future of the Hawaiian people. But they had one day the commissioners had one day, as they said, to review this decision, to vote on it. It was a rushed agenda item. Who is the special interest behind this? David Ige said it wasn't me, right? But you know what? You put in Iokepa Gomes. You put in Mr. Isla. You put in Joby Masagatani, the one who came in and brought these two buggers and rolled out the carpet for them too, is still working for the department executive position, right? So I go back to that executive session with the 5-4 decision, right? What are you guys trying to set Hawaii up for? What are you setting the table for right now? Because it looks like more pimping and more organized crime. Right? No matter how flashy you try to spin this, you know, use your funds to put kanaka on their lands. Distribute these parcels. We don't need to hear about your plan for loans and for mortgages and for financing and even for infrastructure. Give out the lands and reform yourselves so you guys aren't just stacking lays on yourselves and thinking about the next get-rich scheme.
Yes.
For the Lahui, because we ready.
There it is. And you know how this slides right into it, right? To not lose track of what went on.
Right.
You know,
Let's give some light to the other voices.
We look at Senator Kurt, and if you guys do have the time,
Kurt Favela, mahalo.
Go ahead and check out Uncle Kurt.
Yep.
Check out Anakala
Captain Kurt. There
Captain
we go.
Kurt handling his business.
Yo.
He talked about all of the production, right? All the old boys who built the mall, the affordable homes, right? All of these things that took place. Kylie Watson, right? All of these old-time schemers who took properties, commercial properties,
Right.
and charged double, triple the prices.
West Side get some mean stories out there, right? On Waianae
This
Coast.
captain had enough of all of these things, right?
They've
And
seen
this
enough.
is how we should address it. Okay, it's for commercial. I seen Tyler Gomes talking about, you know, all of these not gonna have gangsters. Hawaiian Homes has
Not
an
going.
issue. People have lost their lives at their Hawaiian homestead because of robberies and so forth, illegal actions.
Right.
And for you
It's
guys
already
to
the
say,
Wild West on the Aina Mauna lands. It's already a Wild West down in Ka'u on the biggest tracks that we have. Bro, these guys act like we don't know what's going on. They act like they can sprinkle artificial sweetener and MSG on this bugger and we're going to take a bite.
down there in the west side where they're talking about this casino, they got good fades and they got good hand game out there. See, these guys out there, these Kanakas out there are really a really rare breed. And you're going to put this kind of temptation in the face of poverty. You know that this is the spirit of intent of breaking the Hawaiian fabric.
That's
You
it.
guys didn't try to approve this in Waikiki, right? You guys wanted it to stick to where the problems of our social, economical, spiritual, and physical health is at risk. And you guys know it because you guys want the prison to be filled out. with this $70,000 a year per prisoner. And with that being
Not
said,
buying it, guys.
Kurt's
not buying
Kurt's
it.
not buying it. Captain Kirk said, you guys are inviting the mobsters. You guys are inviting. These things had never left. Look at Mitski. Look at Kealoha. Look at the prosecuting officer with the sashimi-looking chief. These guys are organized criminals. You guys continue to think that the Hawaiian community are going to buy into this and say that you guys are pono. You guys are truly a colonizing tool that is used to entrap, entice, and to alter our way of life. And that we cannot have. And so, Kurt, if you guys have a time, tune into Uncle Kurt, Captain Kurt.
Yeah, mahalo
You know?
to all the Kanaka out there who are stepping up and raising their voices against this project, because we already know there's a rubber stamp in place, right? They already got the rubber stamp out. They already got the boys in the back, right, in executive session. Come on, get over here. This is where we stand. This is how we do this, right? So these predetermined outcomes for how effed up Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, gets, and how desperate the decision making gets for business here. Mahalo to people like Senator Kurt Favela for stepping up, because then you got cupcakes like
Next up,
Mr. Jarrett over here, and this
the
is
two
what
senators,
I gotta put them back to back, because that's a contrast right there, right? You have Mr. Keoho Kaulole. I feel bad even saying that, with the mana'o that comes out of that waha, right? And he's trying to make a case for the fact that we need this. There's no other plan. We have no other plan to make up the $4.5 billion shortfall, right, of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. All these imaginary numbers. We need 4.5 to put in all the different infrastructure to award 28,000 kanaka. No. You need to get your head out of your okole, and you need to award the lots to kanaka, regardless of your conditions and your scams and your traps that you try to set along the way and along the path of our kupuna. And all you senators salivating over the possibilities here
of coconut oil down your access road,
of being one of these backdoor dealers, right, at the table. We can see right through you, gang. We see right through you. I think you gotta call upon Jiminy Cricket. Needs to make his way to the legislature, and he might bring some kawila for crack you guys coconuts, because that's what I like to. I like head over there and smash.
And with that being said, Kako, Keokaloli, very, very disappointed, but not surprised.
Yeah, not surprised.
Disappointed, but not surprised.
Hearing what he said about Hawaiian nationals as well when the Hawaiian National Bill came out, that was disappointing as well, right? They won't help protect our rights, our national origin rights, which a lot of these things are based on, right? Our Hawaiian national lands, the native Hawaiian beneficiaries who are supposed to benefit from these things, right? But, he continues to show that he is a plug for the state of Hawaii.
And this is, right? So just like you said, he's a coconut, and this is the coconut that needs to be spilled down your access road, right?
Cream,
to make
baby.
Sure that the deal is sealed and Governor Dung Beetle is getting a successful rate back, because there's nobody in your right mind.
They can't wait to be the pimps.
As they were showing the numbers, they were showing a very, very small number, which Tyler Gomes, I'm surprised, but not really, that you're consistent on your lies. But the definition of Hawaiian Homes Commission Act is allowed to, after the 200 and so acres is utilized, is allowed to, if the list still exists, to access other public government and crown lands, right, to fulfill their fiduciary duties, which are Ka'apu, right? He explained to Bill Amalaya what his fiduciary duties, as William Isla decided to lie about people calling him up and giving him the green light. But yet, our commissioner knows that his overwhelming phone calls were in opposition. As for
Right.
he didn't see or hear anything to the day of. So you see a clear contrast of the monkeys who are just going down
Yep.
the access road with their coconut oil, and you see the true Kanakas say, nah, we need to preserve that and use it
Yeah.
for a better purpose.
And it's like these new fresh faces too, right? The new coconut oil gangsters, right? Trying to look real slick in their zigzags and whatever. You know, it's like this new breed
The new breed.
of being this flashy, new cutting edge Hawaiian, ready to cut a rug at the state capitol. Get real. You guys are playing the same corrupt games and you diving off into the dirt. Diving off into the dirt.
And
Right.
that sounds like snake eyes to me.
Right.
So when any time DHHL had ever did anything good, they have done tremendously harm. The villages they have broken down, the illegal evictions, the wrongful death of Kahale Smith out in Kauai, right? All of these things are still fresh in many families' minds and hearts. So for you guys to think that you need to put a kupuna into a mansion, you guys seen how fast you guys move for the lava flow victims. You seen how fast you guys move for the homeless. That's the same emergency, the same speed you should be working for your fiduciary duties.
Right.
We are not asking for mansions. A
Right.
kupuna only
No.
needs a studio. Yeah? A studio 25 by 25 that is up in hours with the help of the same people who are help building all of these other homes, right? All these non-profiteers, right? Hope, right? All of these people, you guys should be first in line to propose some good faith to help out their fiduciary duties that the state has inquired for the last 100 years. Snake eyes.
Snake eyes, gang. Snake eyes. How's that Hawaii Lona when the conjunction came down, Jupiter and Saturn? How's that snake eyes, right? We just went roll. You know, so I just want to remind everyone too, like the speed at which these guys tried to approve this, rubber stamp this, streamline this during a time of a pandemic where we have to watch online. You know, while they went into executive session, which they do every time, right? But usually not for an hour and a half. You would have had beneficiaries pounding on the door after the first 20 minutes. Get the hell out here and tell us what the heck's going on. But because everything's online, right? These guys can set the table, stack the deck, however they like, right? 5-4, split decision, like we said, right? So.
Right.
You know, we can go on and on about how corrupt the department is, how clueless it is. Putty. Tie game. The score is still the same. The fake state corruption continues. And now they got new players, fresh new faces, coconut oiled up, right? Ready to show you exactly what you want to see, right? Cha-ching, cha-ching. Whether it's Casino Royale
Or Tyler Games,
or
right?
Tyler Games, right? Or Bet Your Bones on Hawaiian Homes, right? Because that's the other side of this. Our kupuna were people who played games, who wagered, right? Our ali'i were ones who were known for playing certain games.
It wasn't too common for commoners.
But that's the thing. What is the outcome? What is the goal here? What is the culture at play? We're playing with fake money. We're playing with debt. We're playing with dice, right? We're not playing, we're not playing lelekawa. We're not playing, I'm gonna put you in the imu if you lose, right? Because that really, I see that as the outcome, right? If we're willing to go this route, that means we're putting our kupuna in the imu. Yeah, we're willing to put the EVs on the line. We're not willing to protect them. We're wagering them. We cannot even protect them. The development comes, we're not even protecting them.
We wagering them.
You guys right here, right? Slicksters. You guys pretending to care for the EVs, but you
sell them.
Sell them to the highest bidder. You get us to wager it against each other. That's shameful.
So
that is shameful.
To wrap it up, on the self-determination policy, the BTC determined years ago that we fire Iokepa Games and Bill Amalaya
We gave you a
and
chance.
the Commissioner.
We gave you a chance.
And the
Bob.
commissioners who go against the will of the people. And that's where we are at. The community no longer can provide the amounts of needs that these commissioners force down our throats. We can no longer believe the lies that they cannot provide, and our kupuna needs mansions.
Our people are doing the work themselves. We're the ones creating the programs. We're the ones coming to you folks, exhausting all our resources to get on the land, to get a land deposition, right? Like with the Aina Mauna legacy lands. You know, this is a generational struggle for Hawaiian people to get back to what is theirs, Aina. And the fake state of Hawaii continues to put these roadblocks in the way, to sprinkle MSG and artificial sweeteners on it, to concrete the whole dang thing from Eva all the way to town, right? And to rack up billions and billions and billions and billions and billions in order to run this game. So no, do not bring that game to Hawaii. Do not Honolulu, Hawaii. Do not put our bones on the chopping block. Tyler Gomes, Tyler Games, Bill Isla. Distribute the lands of the Hawaiian homes. The people are here to do the work. We ready. We're not going to even get paid, like we already proved over and over again, right? We don't even need to be paid to do this work that you guys can't seem to pay yourselves enough to do. So,
Right.
that's all I gotta say. Bust out the Kawila for knuckleheads like that, right? You guys are asking for the putty, right? You guys are asking for us to, you know, crack your coconuts.
So next year, Kako, new year, new reality for a lot of people. This is where we encourage and tighten our family circles with those who share the same visions. We do not invite snake eyes and crap outs to the dinner table. We do not allow these kind of conversations to join our families.
Right.
2021, we have to do better, Lahui. We have to do better, Ohana. We have to know what's right, know what's wrong.
Yeah.
We have to know not to engage, and we have to put these people on notice.
These economic
Yeah.
games that these guys want to play
And
with
not
our
only
lives.
that, and not only that,
With
the
our
economic
lives.
games. You're right, but also, if you guys are watching the Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting, they were talking about Asians and other non-Hawaiians being on the homestead list,
Right.
and they're only finding out they're not Hawaiian only now when they're passed away, and the department has to issue out the condolences. They're finding out Mr. Sakai Ichimoto doesn't have Hawaiian, and Mr. Felipe is not even from Hawaii.
Right.
But somehow, some commissioner somewhere down the line has submitted numerous of non-Hawaiian applicants that have blown up our list to an inconsistent number, which is yet to be determined. And so next year, 2021, let's be better, let's do better, let's rise with the new awakening and the new knowledge, and let's empower each other and also hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
If this is your family member, one of these people that we discuss about that are doing
Right.
these things to the Lahui,
Right.
you guys have a responsibility to put these people on a higher power.
You better ask the hard questions.
Ask the hard questions.
You
Make
better
sure
be the outlet for the Lahui so we can understand a little bit better and we can know a little bit more, right? Because otherwise that paddle is going to come down hard, right? And we got to watch where the bugger splinter. You got to see where the pieces scatter out.
Yes.
You know, and I just see this is going to be a big fight. This is a big distraction for our Lahui right now, and we should be tightening down, you know, battening the hatches and building from the ground up where our people need it, where our people are already at. But no, these guys like build resorts and condominiums and keep Honoluluing Hawaii.
And when Tyler Gomes said,
This cannot,
when Tyler Gomes said,
Aole pono ke la e io kepa, aole loa. Aole loa. Aole oi kama ilio mena kanaka. You didn't even come out and consult with the people, and you get the bright idea at the end of the pandemic to show everybody where the flashing light is. Right there, guys. $4.5 billion. You guys ain't gonna do shit. You guys haven't even completed any of the projects like Honomu over here, like Ka'u over here. You guys haven't awarded any pastoral lots in the last 30, 40 years. You haven't awarded any residential lots any commercial lots to Hawaiians. But you want to prepare a commercial lot for a resort for pimps to come in here and control our resources. Olelo, we are paying attention. We took notes, and we get the leg kicks ready for you punks.
Yes. Well, as we wrap it up, there you have it for your smashing on the genocide and the colonization for this week, December 26th, going into our new year, Makali'i.
Get it, baby.
So let's get it, Kako, for a rapid aloha as we shut it down for today, as we always give thanks, as we do. Go for it.
What we got today?
So today,
Number
mahalo.
one sponsorship.
Sponsorships.
Shout out. What we got today? Boom. Bite it, don't fight it. You might have to wait a week before these buggers is back out in the lineup. Taking a break for the holidays, gearing up. But you know, we got Mirai in the homestead. Go check them out. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's usually the days.
Mahalo, Lahui, once again tuning in before the next year as the Makali'i rises, as the new Kanaka rises to the occasion of this occupation, as we need to support one another. And mahalo for you guys just tuning in. So this is just feeding the fire for you guys to think, compose your guys' own mana'o, and so we can stay connected as we all got to continue to work during this COVID-19 and forever.
The struggle continues, gang. We look to the past, to the sources of inspiration, to our kumus, to our kupunas, right? Guided us, taught us the lessons, showed us the ways. Yeah. We know where the blueprints stay. We know what a kauhale look like, right? We know what freedom tastes like. We even taste a little bit before they came with the bulldozers. And when the time comes, we won't have to roll out again.
And here we go. Mahalo
Shut it
to
down on the road.
Homesteady. Mahalo for Homesteady for always supplying us with the Homesteady gear, keeping us warm during this occupation. And mahalo to all you essential workers out there on the front line. Be safe, be cautious out there while taking this vaccine. And mahalo once again to our ohana out in Oahu, who led the Aole train for DHHL and let the people know and keeping them aware. And once again, thank you. Homework. Do we have anything more about my extract? Where is it at?
Right there in the front.
Got my
We got it
extract.
right ahead.
We got my extract. I took a couple drops, and we're about to get down for the rest of the weekend. Stay safe. Malama pono.
There's a lot of bitter water to drink, gang. So keep your middle finger currents, like Uncle Skippy said. Show it to the fake state whenever you get a chance. And then if they don't like it, they can do the dance.
And fuck DHHL and don't ever roll crap eyes.
Oh!
Good night,
Department
Kako.
of Homeless Hawaiians. You guys is fucking sick.